I want to go to Adelaide now and catch up with the Agricultural Minister, Sussan Ley, to get more information on this latest drought action package. Sussan, thanks for joining us. One of the surprises in this package is the extra 100 gigalitres of water out of the Murray to go to Murray Valley farmers who can provide feed for drought-affected areas. How quickly can they turn that water into feed?
It's vital, this measure, Chris, and I'm not the Agriculture Minister, but I'm talking about agriculture today, particularly for my local communities in the New South Wales Murray, but also across the river in the Victorian Murray. And our farmers are saying we can grow fodder to feed the nation, to assist with the drought and to help our farmers in the north who are really doing it tough. Now, the key thing is that this can happen quickly. This is an agreement between the Commonwealth and the South Australian Government, and we really appreciate their support and their involvement. This will turn on the desal plant, get that running, and to cover the shortfall between the time it takes for the desal plant to actually provide water, we'll be calling on the storages that are there now. But if you're a farmer in these regions, you are able to predict, to plan, in fact, to plant a summer crop. That would normally be maize. You'd start watering it probably by the 1st of December or the 15th of December. That might mature in March or April next year. You'll also be able to plan to plant a winter crop, pre-watering that in April next year. So this is immediate. This is support for drought-affected farmers. It's using farmers, if you like, to help farmers, but most importantly, think where that fodder is going. It's looking after our dairy farmers and our breeding herds.
Yes, of course. Yeah, sorry for that slip. Of course, Environment Minister Sussan Ley, Bridget McKenzie would have had a fit. We saw a lot of Nationals at the announcement in Canberra today. Obviously, the Coalition very keen to make sure that this is a united effort now. A lot of money in additional loans available to communities. How crucial is this, just keeping the cash flow to people? And how worried are you, though, about the debts that they might end up with further down the track?
It's a stimulus measure, and what it will do for the communities that I represent, in fact for all communities across this region, it will create activity. So if you think about this 100 gigalitres of water creating fodder to support breeding stock during the drought, there are contractors, there are chemical sellers, there is the agronomist, there is all of the activity that happens around a farm enterprise that we are seeing totally depressed at the moment with zero and low allocations. So, you know, it is a really positive stimulus measure. So is the no-interest loans and then the interest-only loans for a total of 5 years. So is the special dedicated Building Better Regions Fund of $200 million to drought-affected councils, and the Roads to Recovery similarly allocated to our rural and regional areas that are experiencing drought. But you know what I love about this fodder measure is it is farmers helping farmers. And I've sat there and watched these truckloads of hay going north to feed the stock in the north of New South Wales and in Western Queensland, where in some places they've been dry for 7 years. And I know that this water can produce up to 400,000 big square bales of hay on those trucks heading out of our region. Now, some of it, of course, will stay as forage and pasture for our local dairy farmers, but just think of the volume. Think of what that provides. So, you know, I'm absolutely thrilled to be part of a Liberal National Government that has been able to deliver not just this measure, but the entire package that we have today.
Sussan Ley, as Environment Minister, though, there are these issues. Farmers, of course, and other people get very frustrated when they see environmental flows going into the river systems at this time and going into flood wetlands and the like. I mean, this must be an extraordinarily difficult thing to manage because, of course, those wetlands experience drought as well. I mean, those wetlands should be dry in a drought. Why on earth would we be flooding them when that water now could be used to sustain agriculture?
Well, the key thing about environmental water is that it achieves a healthy river system, without which, we would all be in big trouble. And obviously we don't want the river to dry up, as it might have done once before white settlement and the dams were placed in the entire length of the Murray dams, weirs, locks, etc., because it provides water for our towns. But we do have to get that balance right. Yes, there is some watering of the floodplain to provide refuges for fish breeding, and sometimes you find people very upset that fish are dying. So people do care about those things. They also care about communities. I like to say I shake the tree everywhere to find water, and during a drought that's particularly difficult. And I have certainly asked the Commonwealth Environmental Water Holder, which is an agency portfolio within Environment, though not directed by me as Minister, it's independent, whether there are smarter ways that we can align the needs of the environment with the needs of farmers and communities. Because as I always say, as Minister for the Environment, farmers manage over 60% of the land in this nation, and they are key in managing the environment as well. Of course they are.